Hey there, YouTube, it's Speedy Two Finger, and I saw footage of the farewell drive through Birmingham, the Black Sabbath bench. People are, if you haven't seen the footage, it's Birmingham, so it's England. It looks a little weird, and it's a street view where they've got everything cordoned off, and it's crammed full of people wearing Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne shirts. These limos pull up, there's real security, and the Osbournes get out. They come up to this massive shrine of flowers and notes left behind to say farewell. It's not his funeral, it was a dedication in Birmingham for Black Sabbath and Ozzy. So Jack, his son, all of his kids, they're all there. Sharon, they get out, and it's a sad moment. Sharon's crying. They're all crying, and these guys are going, Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy. They're doing this. So, okay. If you watch my other video, you know what I was saying. I didn't think it was like unbelievably sad that Ozzy died. For one, we all knew this was coming. For two, he had a classy farewell concert. Like no one in history has ever got to say goodbye like that. That was really something. I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. Three, he said the last 5 years of his life were hell, but understanding his condition, it could have taken like 20 more years of him really suffering. So he didn't, like, okay, I hate to bring this up, but I saw what my mother went through as a religious woman of God who really was just that. To see how she suffered and how long she suffered, to see Ozzy at 76 check out when he had this Parkinson's and all these health issues, it could have been ultimately a lot worse and a lot more expensive for that family. So he left at the top of his game. He had the support of his family. They were loaded, and he got to say that classy farewell. So it's not like it's overwhelming. Like, we all knew this was coming for Ozzy. So all of that, summing it up to me, yes, it's sad, but it really is. It is to be expected, and to play counterpoint, which I hate when people do this to me, but I'm doing it. I don't think it was really that heartbreakingly sad. On the flip side of that, me coming up, I was unable to put on a uniform, meaning punk rock had this look. Then there were these like biker wannabe kids that came before that. They wore jean jackets that had Aerosmith patches on them. The burnout look, So because of my religious family and going to church all the time and being in private schools where you had to sign a contract that said you had to cut your hair, wear a tie, and all that, and you weren't supposed to listen to any rock and roll. Because of all that, I never put any of those uniforms on, and I also didn't get that far into that stuff, meaning heavy metal music. Now, yes, I've seen Slayer numerous times. I've listened to a lot of that stuff, and I like some of it. But Pink Floyd was really my thing. That music seemed to be really complicated, have a lot of layers to it. And when you actually just kind of absorb it, you realize it's really basic. And that the message I took away of Pink Floyd was like, there's this entropy, this cloud, the laws of the universe that you cannot escape, that it will be a real lot of energy put out to move forward just a little bit, and you're going to suffer. So because of all that stuff, we as human beings need to do our best job to be loving to one another and make the world a better place from our own self inward, outwardly radiating peace and love. That was the message that was buried in the Pink Floyd music. And that message was brought out by them painting pictures of different caricatures of people who were just the opposite of that. So it's like social satire. Like Zappa would sing these songs. Hey there, people, I'm Bobby Brown. No, you're not. So we have to kind of understand what's going on and understand artistic license and things like this. But, Ozzy, they started off with the upside or the cross used for protection in Black Sabbath. And then when he went over solo, they inverted it and kidding around about being the Prince of Darkness. But when you read his lyrics, he was really writing about peace, not having war. And he had like an anti-substance abuse message later on in life. So we see again how mankind is conflicted. It's complicated. There's two sides to everything. And then we come to the unfortunate end of the deal. If you have been paying attention at home, to see claims made by business associates of this family that they have been shrewd, ruthless business people, cutthroat. And their success is built on a foundation of screw your neighbor, we'll say. Again, this is all hearsay. I have no idea. But from like where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's been a lot of smoke blowing back on this organization for a long time. And I know, well, it becomes very difficult not to believe all of these alleged allegations when I see things like people pop up and say, hey, we were in this band with him. We wrote that music and we recorded it. We want our money. We never got paid for this huge thing, cultural, iconical piece of music. Should be worth a small fortune if you wrote it. And then they lose the case in court, and next thing you know, the album has been re-recorded, and the people who originally played these instruments on this recording, their tracks are gone, and they've been re-recorded by modern musicians. And I seem to remember hearing it, and it didn't quite sound right. Like they didn't get the same vintage gear. The gear was different, and the style was even a little different. I don't know, I seem to remember hearing one version where I had heard that I think it was Robert Trujillo had played bass. I don't know, I'm spitballing here.
He may have, because he was in an episode of the Osbournes.
He did. He re-recorded tracks off of. Can you look up Ozzy's solo album? Is the first one Bark at the Moon, or is it Blizzard of Oz?
Blizzard of Oz. He's holding a normal cross on the cover.
Okay, look behind him.
Look. There's a cat.
This is the one where he's coming out.
No, that's the other one. So you're talking about
Blizzard.
Bark at the Moon. Blizzard of Oz.
Yeah, there's a little kid with a Dutch boy haircut sitting on a table going like, and on the wall to Ozzy's left, he's coming through a door.
Right.
So it's
Bark at the Moon.
Diary of a Madman.
Oh, okay, maybe that's it. But here's Blizzard of Oz. Look, there's like a little cat.
we have our producer joining us in the studio. So again, this is all hearsay. I'm watching people like Don Airy. I'm watching Bob Daisley make these claims. So when you wonder about these people doing this at the funeral when they're grieving or the dedication, I think a lot of people are just unaware. Like the majority of the people that are just general Ozzy fans.
So here's the
Up there's the upside down cross.
kid.
It is. Told you.
I knew it, but I just
So my point is that like when John Lennon died, that was a big deal. That was a bigger deal than this. This is a big deal. It's just kind of surprising to me that it's as big of a deal as it is when the guy represented this such wickedness. And typically when I was coming up, those people were ostracized. The guys who wore those jean jackets, they were considered burnouts and they were looked down in society. It just goes to show how much has changed in our society, how far we've come. So it's interesting to me. And I'm not taking shots at this family or his reputation, but like I said, if I see Bob Daisley interview, I'm listening to it. If I see Don Airy, and they say, yeah, they couldn't figure out how they were going to start Mr. Crowley, and he kicked everybody out, and a half hour later they came back and he had written the keyboard intro to Mr. Crowley, and he has no writing credit. Nothing. I know how that feels. It's not a good feeling. So, unfortunately, it's not a one-time thing. There's a lot of stories about this type of thing with this family and their business practices being cutthroat, and how we as a society are so quick to I don't know, it's weird. It's like there's these agendas, and they're going to go after certain people about certain things, and other people, they just completely get a pass and they get to walk. So I guess the takeaway here is even at the top, it's just not fair. It's not fair at all. And clearly someone like me, my personality, where I'm trying to just kind of be nice and not screw anybody over or start any drama or hurt any feelings, how I wouldn't have a chance in this world to even be able to keep myself fed. And this is how I've always felt about it. In order to be successful, you have to nice guys finish last. And I certainly don't have what it takes to declare myself a prince of darkness, start turning crosses in my house upside down, biting heads off of small animals, and rewriting history and screwing over people who are handing me hits. I don't know. I just don't. That explains it. Petey's a huge loser. No one cares. No one's watching this. Z. Let me get a 666 tattoo on my head. All right, you guys.
all right, you guys, after that. 666 tattoo.
Right? Isn't that what you got to do? Anyway, bite the heads off of your pets.
All right,
And anarchy. I love you all. Wait a minute. Peace.